So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I shot, edited, thumbnailed, tagged. I had a whole video ready to go today that was all about the rumored Tesla Model 3 refresh. What was new, what was different, if you should wait to buy it, when it was coming, all the details on everything we knew. Then I woke up this morning and saw that Tesla actually released a new Model 3 with all of those details and changes and everything new that we had expected to see. So in this video, I thought instead of kind of rehashing the rumors or publishing that video or anything like that, I thought I would kind of walk through what's new, like kind of when you go to order a Model 3, what exactly has changed, what's new, and what my thoughts are on the new Tesla Model 3 refresh, and if you should get one or try to snag an old car that could be better. And before I jump into this, let me make it clear that Tesla doesn't really acknowledge refreshes, or okay, Elon never really acknowledges refreshes. Tesla is unlike a traditional automaker in many different ways, including the way that they don't really do year-over-year releases. There is no 2020 Model 3, 2019, version 2 or version 3. They just kind of make incremental upgrades as they go and then kind of release them. And they're just there in the wild, and if you ordered a car at the right time, you get the new stuff. If you didn't, well, you're out of luck. And we've seen changes over time incrementally to the interior materials, the ports being swapped, the wireless charger added by default, lots of stuff. But I think that this refresh or change or new model, whatever Tesla wants to call it, this is the most change and the biggest differences we've ever seen to the Model 3 since it launched a number of years ago. So this, in my mind, really is a refresh and something you really want to pay attention to, even if Tesla doesn't even officially acknowledge it. Okay, so let's take a look at the site here, and you'll notice right off the bat at this first picture, that looks like, and I can't zoom in here, that looks like a chrome delete around the car, and sure enough, yes, the new Model 3s do have a chrome delete from the factory. This is essentially Tesla taking a cue from the Model Y, giving a chrome delete from the factory. That was a super popular option with the Model Y. Many people wanted it with the 3, now it's there. Personally, a chrome delete is still something I've wanted to do for years, and I just haven't had the extra time or necessarily the extra money, the hundreds of dollars to invest in like a professional chrome delete, so I've waited to do it. Though now, too bad I didn't order now because I could have got one from the factory. So anyway, super cool. If you were a fan of that chrome, sorry, it's not an option, it's just kind of gone. But for many people who didn't like it, the chrome is now deleted from the factory and it is gone. So let's go ahead and order now. Okay, so a couple of changes here right off the bat. First things first is, yeah, you can see the chrome delete. It looks really nice. You'll see the kind of the emblem there where the autopilot camera is, that has a chrome delete, the handles have a chrome delete, the whole trim has a chrome delete. It looks fantastic. But a couple of different changes here. So first things first, you'll notice the range is up. So the range of the Model 3 standard range plus when I bought it was 240. It was then 250. Now it's 263, which is quite an upgrade. And apparently Tesla has made some changes with the efficiency. There's some like efficiency package or something Tesla has done to make these changes. But wow, that's 20 miles, 23 miles more than I had. That is not at all an insignificant amount. So the range has actually gotten better on the standard range plus, which is cool to see, as well as I believe the long range. Long range is now 353. I believe it's up from 340-ish. So a little bit more efficiency in the car means the range is a little bit better. That is excellent to see and super nice. So besides that, we have kind of on the exterior, not a whole lot of cosmetic changes, the biggest one being the chrome delete, but some other things that I'll show. I guess I can explain more than I can show that you can't really see in here is some under the hood stuff, so to speak. Tesla has now double paned the glass on all the windows. So I'm assuming, I mean, every, driver's side door, passenger, all that stuff. The glass is now double paned to reduce the wind noise while driving, to kind of cut down on that exterior noise to make the ambient level of the car more comfortable and more suitable. Personally, I've never really had an issue with the road noise. I know many people didn't like it, and many people have spent hundreds of dollars, if not a lot of their own time, to cut down on the road noise by putting in these DIY kits. Tesla now seems to have fixed that from the factory, which is super nice to see. So it should be a little bit quieter inside, especially when you're on highways and traveling at high rates of speed. It should be quieter. And also what they don't show on the page at all, but I can't really demo, but I can kind of allude to in the back, is that there is another cue from the Model Y that the Model 3 now has a power lift gate. So if you wanted to not have to open and close it, and sometimes, it was a little hard to open and a little hard to close, it would honestly get stiff if you had it left in the open position for a long time. It was kind of hard to close. That's now a thing of the past because it now has a power lift gate a la Model Y. So super cool to see, and those are kind of some of the beginning of the exterior changes. Now let's jump into the interior. Also, before we go here, one more thing to notice while we're in colors. All the colors are the same, but the wheels, the aero wheels are slightly tweaked than what we have before, the aero covers. I don't think the other wheel options have changed much at all, maybe slightly, but the wheels, the standard aero wheels have changed, the covers at least, just a bit to match kind of the newer Tesla design language. All right, let's move on from now and into the interior, which has gotten a slight change. So what we've heard, and I can't confirm this, but what we have heard is that the material in the top of the car here is a little bit darker than what we had before. But the biggest change in the interior is not, you know, the seats or the interior material or anything like that. The big thing is the center console. So if you look here, the center console now has gotten a huge redesign, which is fixing a lot of the issues that owners had problems with before. So first things first, the design is different. Instead of it being kind of like a multi-piece you know, kind of construction, it now looks like it's just two pieces. So you have kind of this bottom place that has kind of the cup holders and a little storage compartment. Then on top is the wireless charger. Couple of interesting things with the wireless charger to take note of. It looks like it's like a soft touch, kind of a soft fabric material. Some, I think, say it's like a leather soft touch material over the Model 3's wireless charger. You'll notice there is no more cover, so you can't hide the wireless charger. It's always going to be there and always is going to be visible. It also looks like it's built in and it cannot be removed, which is a little bit of a bummer if you wanted to put something in like a Nomad wireless charger or a Jetta one, or there's some higher efficiency ones or ones that are able to charge different devices. Looks like that is no longer a thing you can swap yourself. I could be wrong, but judging from the picture, it looks like a pretty solid unit and looks like it's pretty much built in. So keep that in mind. But the big thing here is with this section down here, they've removed the plastic, shiny, scratch-prone, dust magnet, scratch magnet, glossy piano black plastic is now gone in favor for this new kind of satin black wrap, it looks like. I know a lot of people did center console wraps. That was kind of the way to get around this, but now it looks like Tesla is kind of giving you a center console wrap from the factory. You now have this kind of black satin material that is covering the center console. Great if you didn't like what they had before, but if you were someone who liked to kind of customize it, I don't know if you could really wrap over this. I'm sure you could, but this is a big change and a welcome change that is super nice to see. Some other changes to take note of here, the cup holders here, no more chrome around there. It is now kind of also kind of a mini chrome delete. And the compartment here is changed now. It looks like Tesla's taking some cues from the S and the X, where people are saying this slides open and close kind of horizontally. It's not like a latch that goes up and down. So another little change, small but significant, for the center console. So this looks like a pretty significant change. The center console has gotten pretty much redesigned. So that looks like that's that for the interior and the center console. Screen looks the same. Everything else looks pretty much the same. And just kind of reading over everything else, this looks pretty much the same. I mean, no real difference here in terms of interior. Again, this is on the Standard Range Plus, but everything looks exactly the same as we saw before. Let's go next here. Full self-driving, still $8,000. Nothing really different with that. And that looks like it's pretty much it. The only other rumor that I don't know if anyone has been able to confirm or deny was that the heat pump might have been making its way into the Model 3. That I know was a big deal for many who lived in colder climates, though I don't know if that is actually happening or not. So if you guys know, leave it in the comments down below, but I'm not sure if that's was a rumor or if it in fact made its way to the car. So this looks good. This is the new Model 3, and I had just done a video about, you know, Electrek and what they were claiming the new car was going to have and all this stuff, but now it's official, and this is the new Model 3 for the years to come. It seems a little bit, you know, insignificant on the surface, but once you add up all the things like increased range, double pane windows, power liftgate, the chrome delete, the new center console, all these things together, it's quite a worthy upgrade, and you're really getting a lot for, you know, basically the same price. And if you were waiting or a little hesitant to commit to the Model 3, you were waiting for some kind of upgrade, this is it. This is the biggest upgrade we've seen to the Model 3, and one that really makes me wish I had waited to get one, but that's kind of the story of, you know, life and technology. You're always going to be waiting for something new if you're trying to wait for the next big thing. But this is quite a worthy upgrade. So I think that if you have hesitated, if you weren't on the Tesla train yet and you were waiting for a change, now is an awesome time to buy the Model 3, and it looks like this will be kind of rolling off the production pipeline in Fremont starting now and hopefully kind of making its way out to consumers over the next couple of weeks and months. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think of this update? Is it a worthy refresher? Is it worthy of an official like 2021 Model 3? Or do you think that Tesla missed the vote, or there was a missed opportunity, they could have done something that they didn't, that you wish they would have done? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see ya in the next one.